Okay, guys. So I've seen Gwen always get a lot of questions about training and everything marathon specific and what you're doing for running, workouts, gym. I've just found that whether it was me cycling, you doing running or triathlon, a lot of times the biggest gains came from what you were doing outside of that sport. So we really like to think of the 4 pillars being, sleep, balance, just balance in life. Nutrition, and then all of the body work that you have to go through on a weekly basis. So hoping that you can just give your audience, and I can throw some tidbits in there as well, is just what that looks like.
I feel like you're interviewing me. You said this is where the biggest gains can be made, and I don't know if I'd say that, but I think, everyone who is an athlete, they know training, they know that that's important, and I think a lot of times what's overlooked are these wellness things of what you do outside of training. As an athlete, our day doesn't end when we put our shoes up. It's everything we do is a part of how we're going to perform, and those things, I know that they play a huge part in my performance. And I'm someone who I take my rest very seriously, and I notice if I stand around on my feet a lot all day, my feet get swollen because I'm not used to it. So it's something that I definitely take seriously. Yeah, and I think about when I was bike racing, when I was in my early 20s, I always wanted to just outside of bike racing, I wanted to, oh boy. Pat is so important. He gets so many phone calls.
That was my friend Sam Likey, also known as Scam Likely.
You were talking about it.
I was talking about, but I just remember wanting to do everything else, just go, doing crazy stuff, always wanting to go, and a mentor and a teammate of mine just said, dude, you gotta just sit and do nothing and just be content with that. And
that's hard to do.
It's a hard thing to learn
if you're not used to it.
But then we got really good at it.
Then we had a baby.
And it was kind of like, whoa. So that maybe brings us into this big one, which I think has been such a blessing for us as having some balance.
Yeah.
And Stanley's just been, I think, the best thing that could have happened to your professional career, as far as just giving you some perspective outside of sport. Like, if you have a bad day, you come home, it's totally forgotten about, where I could see in the past any struggles that you would have been having in triathlon. That would have been something that you and then ultimately I would have really been dwelling on.
I think we did an okay job in triathlon of having that balance, but it's a lot easier once you have a child. I come home and I don't waste any mental energy thinking about the training or what has happened. Stanley had a little bit shorter nap, so I wasn't able to get in a long nap. So after he was done napping, I just brought him into my bed so I could get a little more time up. Thankfully, right now, Stanley's in a phase where he only wants me to read him books. So, yeah. So he just comes in bed and lets me read him books, and that's kind of fun. I'm also this month doing, Sleep Number has something called the Sleep, he only wants me to read him the book. It's called the Sleep 30 Challenge, and I think it's really cool because it's a challenge for 30 days to try to get yourself to sleep better, and I feel like I have some good sleep habits, but there's some things that I need to change. So this first week, on the list of things to do are to buy some blackout curtains, which we have, or an eye mask, sleep mask, and I actually have one of those, and I want to start using it because we travel so much, and a lot of times when we travel we don't have blackout curtains, and an eye mask is something that you can easily travel with. So that's something that I have that I really want to start implementing in this 30-day sleep challenge to see if my sleep can improve. But this first week is just about committing yourself to 30 days of quality sleep and to find a sleep champion to help hold you accountable. Will you be my sleep champion, Patrick? I haven't asked you.
I can agree to that.
Okay. And then I need to create a sleep schedule, which I think I'm actually pretty good at creating a sleep schedule. I'm very, very diligent about being in bed by 8 o'clock, 8:15 at the latest, turning off my phone by 8:15 at the latest. And then, honestly, this is where I think I'm going to have to improve, and I don't really want to. Once we get in bed, we normally watch TV, and blue screens are bad for you. And I think what we need to do is actually purchase some sort of lamps or something so we can read a book. Maybe we can allow ourselves 30 minutes of TV. It's hard when you have a little one. You don't really get much time to watch TV, so I do need that time to just shut off completely. So I think that's going to be one of my biggest challenges in this 30-day sleep challenge, is forcing myself to read more before I go to bed instead of watching TV. And then we have to prepare a bedroom for optimal sleep, which I think we already do. I have a fan which has white noise. I have blackout blinds. I also have blackout curtains. We have air conditioning for when it's hot outside. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this 30-day sleep challenge. It's going to get harder as I go, but there's things for me to do every week, and I think I get pretty good sleep, but I'm always looking for a way to get higher quality sleep, and this is a free thing that Sleep Number has created that I'm really excited to see, and hopefully some changes in my sleep. So you guys, I encourage you to the challenge as well, and this is just one pillar that I use to help in my recovery and wellness routine. Okay. Yeah, I think what's really important for wellness is having something away from sport. And, before I had Stanley, Pat was really good about when I came home from a workout, we weren't talking about sport. I wasn't dwelling on or celebrating how the day's training went. I think having something outside of sport really helps with your wellness because it helps you not feel like your self-worth is in sport, and it's something where you come home and you don't waste energy thinking about what happened on that day. A lot of people don't realize how much mental energy it takes to perform at a high level. A lot of times we as professional athletes need breaks more because of the mental fatigue than the physical fatigue. For me to be able to have a family, to me to be able to come home, not think about how my run went that day, whether it be good or bad, is something that I think has allowed me to stay more mentally fresh and have more mental energy when I show up on race day. Could you give her a bath? Family time is everything to me. I've always wanted to have children, and it just brings me so much joy. And it's funny when you're an athlete, everyone always asks you, what do you do besides your sport? And a lot of times we don't have a good answer because we don't do much outside of sport, but at the same time we need something to just mentally check out. And whether that be reading a book or watching a Netflix series or having a little bit of schooling. I don't think I was a full-time employee at a Big Four accounting firm, and I was training full-time, and I believe you can do that, but I don't think you're your best athlete if you're juggling two things full-time. So to be a full-time student or a full-time 40-hour desk job plus trying to be a full-time athlete, I think is difficult. But if you have like a class that you go to or something that's smaller that just kind of gets your mind off of sport, I think that can play a huge impact. And I think it can sometimes almost allow people to perform better if they have something that is outside of sport. Oh, be careful.
So the third pillar for us is a big one has been nutrition. That's been the case always. So we've talked about it with running a ton. We've really had to look at and develop like what we're doing in the marathon and those longer distance runs. We've had great collaboration with Scratch Labs and the products that they've created, specifically with the marathon in mind. So more to come on that. But that's just, we've gone into detail about the food demands of Gwen, the food demands of Gwen's training. She's, and that's something that we're always thinking about and pairing those nutritional needs with the sessions that she's doing.
A big reason I wanted to work with Scratch was because they were willing to innovate and, create a product that would work for me. I think a lot for me, sponsorship is my livelihood, but at the same time, I really strive to partner with people who are willing to innovate and help me get what I need. And I'm probably getting into way too deep stuff, different stuff, but I've said no to some sponsorships, people who wanted to pay me more money, and said yes to other companies because they were willing to work with me and innovate and create products that I need. And that's something for me is really important. It's all about performance, and having partners with me that are willing to get me what I need to perform on race day is something that's really exciting for me.
The fourth and final pillar for Gwen is really the bodywork component. That was huge in triathlon, and then it was also now in running. It's just amplified even more because it's the same work being done every single day. So I don't know that your audience has quite like a grasp of what that looks like for you, but
how much do I spend weekly on body work?
It's a lot. I would say let's go
or more. I think it's more than 500 a week.
And I think the biggest thing is we've seen that as an investment.
We do, and I think I really struggled at the beginning with investing in myself, and Pat really changed my attitude and said, like, this is a cost of doing business, whether it be paying for,
I'll be right there,
whether it be paying for higher quality ingredients to have the food that we need and the nutrients that we need, or whether it be investing in that body work. So yeah, I mean, in triathlon I was getting body work every other day, and the same in running, almost more. I mean, I'm getting something done 5 days a week. I see a massage 3 times a week, a dry needler once a week, and PT once a week. And sometimes I also see an ART. So I do a lot, and I think for me, some people find foam rolling works for them, and I definitely use some sort of tools. I incorporate some sort of things like that, but I just find that massage really works best for me.
And do you? I mean, you've just had so many massages and treatments. Do you think that when you're, and we've never talked about this, but do you think that when you're done competing, will you still want to get massaged, or are you just totally burned out on them?
That's a different question. I thought you were going to ask me if I'm picky about who I see.
Oh, well, we know the answer for that already.
Yeah, I think, I'll probably get a massage once a week. Pat gets a massage once a week.
Only when I'm in heavy training, which is now. Yeah, now I'm training.
So, I mean, I think it's something, I think it is good just to keep your body in check. Even if you're not in really high training, I'm always going to be physically active, and I think people that are physically active, or even if your job is a little bit physical, I don't know what the right word is, physical.
Yeah.
Massage or body work is really good. It keeps you healthy, and just keeps you, I think, more able to do
what you want to do.
On a daily basis.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I know this isn't the sexiest video or the coolest topic in the world, but something that we're pretty passionate about. I know that I'm always challenging myself. The biggest one for me is sleep, and having good sleep habits. I'm naturally a night owl, so I want to stay up all the time and just see what's going on at night, but I'm really forcing myself to try and close my eyes at 9:30. So that's a big goal of mine moving forward. I know, check out the link below. There's going to be an opportunity and a way for you guys to set your own goals as well.
Look forward to updating you guys with my sleep progress as well. That's something that I'm always serious about. Pat, said he's a night owl, and I always kick him out of the bedroom at 9 or a little bit after, and I say, no, I'm turning off the TV, I'm shutting off the lights, like, I'm going to bed, and he's never ready when I'm ready. In fact, the other night, I texted him, I couldn't sleep, and it was 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So I turned on my phone and just told him I was having trouble sleeping, and asked him if he could bring me some water, and he said, I'll try to go find some. I was very confused, and he came back like 5 minutes later, and I said, what took you so long? And what took you so long, Pat?
There may have been a late night fourth meal session happening at Taco Bell, but that's a very rare occurrence, and
I don't know. Now I'm starting to wonder if that happens every night.
But I did get busted for my fourth meal situation that night. But thanks for watching.